Hey guys, I'm not going to do a full video on this. I'm just going to show you where I am at right now. Went to the parts store to go get a new thermostat, so I got a couple seconds here. All right, so this is a Lexus, and there's no heat in the cab. So basically, I do believe the thermostat is seized, stuck shut. So let me show you real quick. I'm not going to show you how I got to this point. Well, it's not a step-by-step. But the thermostat is down in here, okay? So in order to do it, it's a real pain in the butt on this Lexus. Took the tire off. I had to take the tire off here to get to the serpentine belt. I took there's an access panel that covers this section here. I took the access panel off to get access to the serpentine belt. And then there's a pulley, the tension pulley, which is, I'm gonna take you off wide angle, which is that one right there. It's a 14 millimeter and you twist it that way. So you go counterclockwise with it, but you do it from underneath. That allows you just a little bit of slack to be able to slide the serpentine belt off. Then once you get the serpentine belt off, drain the coolant. The front of the car's over there. So there's a pit cock in the front of the radiator over there, bottom. Put a hose on it. I use a 3/8 hose. Like I said, this is not a step-by-step video. See the hose? There's the antifreeze that came out of the radiator. We're gonna replace it with new. So once that drained, then there's a pulley, an idler pulley that gets screwed, that's right here. It's an actual pulley for the, I don't know where we put it. I'm looking for it. Nope, I don't see it. Anyways, there's an idler pulley that goes right here. And you take that off, and the idler pulley was also a 14 millimeter, 1 bolt. And in the idler pulley, there are, all right, let me see if I can find the idler pulley so I can show you there's a bolt, a washer, and then the brass bearing basically, and then the pulley itself. So you gotta be careful when you take that off. Let me show you. Let me find it real quick and I'll turn the camera back on. Okay, here's the pulley. This is the idler pulley. My garage is a mess, I'm sorry. I got too many things going on. But that's why I'm not videoing this whole thing. I don't have time. All right, here's your idler pulley. You gotta take this off. And you gotta be careful because that falls out. See it? This piece here? So you have a bolt that you take off, washer, the brass, the bushing there, like that, okay? So you take that off. This is your thermostat housing, which is what we're going after, trying to get off. So this, bring back to the car, is up in there. I'm not gonna be able to get it all the way in there. It's up in here, right here. Your thermostat is in that hole, okay? And they are nuts. They're 2 posts. They're not bolts. And this housing is like this. So in order to get this out, you gotta take that pulley off. And I tried doing it without taking the pulley off, but there's no way to get the extension on there. So we got the pulley off. And once I got the pulley off, it became a lot easier. And like I said, here's where your thermostat sits. So put a bucket underneath it, take the 2 10 millimeter nuts off, and ours, on this car, the nut came off the inner one, the hardest one to get, which is the top right. But the post came out of the one that's easier to access, the bottom left. So we're just gonna put it back in the same way, use it as a bolt basically. Put it back over here so I don't lose it. And we'll be good to go. So like I said, the thermostat is in there. I'm not gonna record how to put it back together because it is just, it's gonna be in reverse, but it is a pain in the butt. Here's the thermostat housing. Goes like that. You gotta take the pulley off because it blocks this bolt up here, all right? It blocks this nut. And then this one down here, you can get to right from the front. So like I said, I wasn't gonna record this job just because I got too many projects going on and it takes a lot longer to do the full recording. but I figured that'll kind of help you out on a short little video. So put you on wide angle. So basically, quick and simple, jack the car up, take this tire off, take the access panel off, take your belt off. Once the serpentine belt is off, drain your radiator. Once your radiator is drained and your serpentine belt is off, making sure you remember how it goes back on, you come back up here, you take the top radiator, or you take the radiator hose off the housing, okay? Stuff it out of the way. The radiator hose, I just bent it and stuffed it out of the way over here. Now that's out of the way. Then I have a 6-inch extension, a 10 millimeter with a 1-inch extension on this end. That's what I used to get that upper nut off. And very little movement with the ratchet. So, I use a 14 millimeter to take pulley number 2 off, which is the pulley right here. I just used a, did I use a ratchet? No, I'm sorry. I used my 14 millimeter 12 point on a mini 3/8 breaker bar, because that's all the room I had in there to break it free. Once I broke it free, I was able to unscrew it by hand, take the pulley off, get it out of the way, put it off to the side. Then I was ready to take the thermostat housing off. To take the thermostat housing off, I used, once again, 14 millimeter 12 point. Nope, that's a 6 point. I'm sorry, 10 millimeter. I'm sorry, this is a horrible video for you guys, but I'm doing my best here. I'm in a hurry. A 10 millimeter, 6 point, and you can't just slide it in there. You actually have to fish it in and through this way, okay? So you fish it down, in, and through. There's no room to slide it in this way, okay? There's no room to just slide it in. So you have to fish it in this way, get it on there. Once pulley number 2 is out of the way, then you take your hand and you can hold this hand on the bolt or the nut right there. And then you can use your right hand, which is holding my camera, on the ratchet. And I had to use one of these ratchets because it's super, super fine teeth in there, because you could only get a little bit of movement every single time. My Craftsman ratchet, the teeth in it, it was only like one tooth, so it wouldn't reset, wouldn't ratchet. So I use that one. It's a super fine tooth one. I think it's a Harbor Freight one. But anyways, that allowed me to loosen that one. And then once I broke it loose, then I just used my hands to unscrew it with the extension. Like I said, it's just this little 10 millimeter nut that's on a post. And then once that was, I had my pan underneath the pit, making sure I'm not dripping, filling up my pit with antifreeze. And then on the outside one, which was the easier one, the whole post came out. Okay, so that's it. To put it back in, like I said, the kid's at the store right now picking up the thermostat. He's bringing it with him, so we make sure we get the right one, because I am not doing this twice. And we're good to go. This is a Lexus something 350 or something like that, which is, I guess, a Toyota now. So the vehicle will be in the description. So anyways, that's it. 6 minutes of me talking and pointing to a Lexus/Toyota engine that I've never worked on. I don't think I did the brakes on this vehicle before. So, all right. Hope that helps. I'm going to go grab something to drink real quick while I have a few minutes. And then I'll come back out here and put this back together. Fingers crossed. And if I post this video, that means it fixed the problem. But this problem was no heat coming out of the radiator or the ductwork inside the car. Engine getting up to operating temperature. I did troubleshoot it. I let it run the other day. This side, this radiator hose on this side of the engine was hot. The side on that side where it came out of the thermostat, or actually would come out of the radiator, go into the thermostat, was ice cold. So this side was hot. That large radiator hose was ice cold. Like I said, these were hot. Car was up to temperature. Thermostat should have opened up. It did not open. The two heater core lines going to the firewall, through the firewall into the heater box up front, those stayed cold, which, as far as I could tell, that means my engine's not circulating. And if it's not circulating, there's only one valve kind of sort of considered a valve in the system, and that should be the thermostat. So we're starting with a cheap $15 thermostat. Replace that. 2 hours worth of labor, which is a pain in the butt. But if it works, it works. And then the Lexus is back on the road with heat, okay? So if I post it, that means that fixed the no heat problem, no engine or cab heat in the car, and we're good to go. So fingers crossed, if you see this, that means it fixed the problem. Well, don't forget to like and subscribe, and sorry, this is like a handheld, horrible video, not entertaining, but it's more just how-to, all right?
I don't really know what comes next. I'm just doing my best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Your lies, I'll do what I want.
So here's an update on the Lexus thermostat. Thermostat went back in, no problem. Went without a hitch, actually went back together really smooth. Started the car up, still the exact same thing. So now that wasn't the problem. So I figured, let's take the heater core hose off and check it out. And look, I just popped it off and there's no coolant in there. So I have a feeling it is vapor locked. So I am going to attempt to purge the system. All right, so like I said, I don't have time to be videoing this whole thing. So, but it is a Lexus, and it looks like the heater core is vapor locked, full of air, in other words. So let's see if that's if we could fix that problem, and then we'll see if we have cab heat inside the passenger compartment. Otherwise, it might be a water pump. So it took me a little bit, but I got both heater core lines off and no antifreeze came out of either one of them. So I am going to connect the top one, put a garden hose in here. I'm going to blow into that. When I blow into this, it comes out the top one. So I am going to reconnect the top one, blow into this until the antifreeze comes out the bottom of the heater core. And hopefully that helps get the vapor lock out. So it is a 2008 Lexus RX350. As you can see, the engine compartment is put back together and the two heater hoses are put back on. So what I ended up doing was popping the two heater core hoses off, and there was no coolant coming out of either one of them. So what I think is, I think it got vapor locked. So it probably overheated from the stuck thermostat. And then we replaced the stuck thermostat, but it was still, the thermostat started working after that, but the heater wasn't, because I do believe that was still vapor locked from previous. So what I did was I took those off, I put a hose in the radiator fill cap, and I blew through the radiator, and coolant came out both lines of the heater core, the rubber lines. So then I knew I had pathway to the heater core. So then what I did was I connected the bottom one back up, and then I blew through the radiator again until coolant started coming out the top. And then just to make sure, once it started coming out, I actually did it until I got probably a good half gallon out of there to really purge the heater core in there. And then I immediately put the hose back on. And then I topped off the reservoir, topped off the radiator, started the Lexus back up and let it run. And within, I'd say not even a minute, we had hot air coming out of the dashboard. So it definitely fixed the problem. So I think it was a combination of the two. I think the thermostat, which I will be testing on the stove. This is a thermostat. I think the thermostat got stuck shut, caused the Lexus to overheat. Once the Lexus overheated, I think the heater core got vapor locked. We replaced the thermostat, filled everything up, still had no heat. So then we purged the heater core and everything works great now. So problem solved. I'm blaming the stuck thermostat. This job is done. See you in the next video.